All right, 1 o'clock Friday afternoon, and we catch up with our good friend Leanne Styszowski from Western Edge Living. Good afternoon, and by the way, Happy New Year, Leanne.
Yes, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you as well, Jay. We have a guest here in Mariah Marsh. She's our latest guest on the show. Jay, meet Mariah. Mariah, meet Jay.
Hey Jay, good morning.
Mariah, it's very nice to meet you. We've got Mariah this weekend on Western Edge Living. Of course, catch Sunday mornings, 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain Time. Let's talk a little bit about what the topic is this week with Mariah.
Well, I thought it would be a great idea to have Mariah on herself to talk about some of this stuff. It's quite a bit. She's a new business owner here in Dickinson with Compatibility Aesthetics, a medical spa. She has some pretty neat equipment here, some lasers that we talked about. We even did a
Mm.
demo on myself for the show, so people will get to see me getting my face lasered and some before and after results. It was pretty neat, a pretty fun show. I'm pretty excited for you guys to be able to watch it.
Well,
And then
fantastic.
also,
So,
go
so,
ahead.
so I'm sure Mariah, you can hear me. I'm guessing, right?
Of course, yes.
Mariah, tell us a little bit about your business again. I didn't catch the name right away. What was the name?
Right. So my business's name is Compatibility Aesthetics. It's a little med spa. We're, on Villard here in Dickinson. It's private, it's intimate. We're not very big, and that's something that we pride ourselves in. But when we opened, I was never going to buy a laser. The market's already oversaturated. Everybody already has one. They all kind of do the same thing, and everybody has the best, right? You're going to market yourself that way, whether you have the best or not, because you want to sell your product.
Sure.
And so I was just staying up to date, informed, educated on the services that are available in Dickinson so that I could send my customers to the appropriate places for the services that they were looking for. And then I was reading an article, keeping up on things, reading an article about a service called, the procedure's called the reverse. As I was reading into it, I recognized that nobody had the lasers that were used in this procedure. And as I was reading further and further into it, I started thinking to myself, am I going to be buying this laser? Because this is something that nobody has. There is no market saturation with with this brand at this time. And with the fact that there's two of them, one of them has 36 different FDA indications. They have
Hmm.
no lawsuits. Mayo Clinic bought one recently at the time that I bought mine just to treat toenail fungus. And that just shows the wide variety of conditions that it works with. So it goes from anywhere from skin rejuvenation, laser hair removal, to wart removal, and getting rid of toenail fungus.
Wow, that's what a wide range. Now, Leanne, was it the toe fungus that we used on?
Yes, yes, sure. Well, we'll just say that and then some. And then not only that, she has started a nonprofit foundation called the Kind Hearts Program. And what she does twice a year is her and other volunteers get together and get trek bikes assembled that are sold to them via wholesale, and they give it out for free to the community children. And then in the fall, it is at the Kind Hearts Day,
Yeah.
and they give out backpacks to students who need them getting ready for school. So they do that twice a year. They've had a bunch of involvement from the local sheriff's department, our sheriff Corey Lee, and even our North Dakota State Governor Kelly Armstrong has been involved in assembling and giving away the bikes every year. So there's a lot of attention on that as well.
That is so cool, Mariah. What made you start? I guess something like that. Is that something that you've always wanted to do? Were you a part of something in the past that kind of put a seed in you that wanted to give back to the community that way?
That's a really good question. And the answer really is no. It came from a personal experience. I was going through something pretty heavy in my life. There was a lot of obstacles related to it, a lot of safety concerns, a lot of recognizing situations that most people aren't aware of unless that you're living within it. At that
Hmm.
time, I wanted to do more. I wanted to help people in similar situations. And so I started giving money, cash, to somebody that worked with the public. And I said, the people that need it, the people that are trying and just can't get ahead, use this money to help them. So maybe it was around Christmas time. And then I was a travel nurse at the time, so I was doing pretty well with my contract. So I got another contract, and then I gave the same person more money. And same rules. If the people that are trying, they're just not making it, let's help them. Like, give them a day, just do something nice for them. And as I was moving forward with it, I thought to myself, I want to do more, but I don't want to keep giving all my money away. So I brainstormed a little bit. My little sister, Marina, was dating who she's now married to, a police officer. She had this idea for a shirt that she really wanted me to make for a ridiculous amount of time, but I just didn't want to make one shirt. Like, order the shirt, Marina. Like, don't put this on me to make it for you. And my dad also owns a bar here in Dickinson. So as I was brainstorming ideas while I was driving, I thought, well, I can make these shirts with Marina's design, and then we can sell them at the bar, and then we can donate the money back into the community. And that's really what it was. I called my dad. I said, hey, I'm going to print these shirts. You're going to sell them, and then you're going to donate the money back into the community. And that's really how it was born. And with, whenever an organization starts, there's got to be a reason for it, and there's got to be life behind it. Otherwise, they don't survive. And so what Kind Hearts did for me was it gave me that outlet to put my anger into something. There was a lot going on, and there was a lot of emotions on my side, and dealing with life safety issues for my son, some safety issues for myself, and it gave me an outlet to put that energy into, which then was the driving force behind Kind Hearts. Now, granted, I could have never done it by myself. I could have never done it without the community support behind it, because they grabbed onto it and they supported it and they loved it right away. I could have never done it without exploiting my dad, who's small town famous in Dickinson, and I used him to help support selling the shirts to begin with, and then Sheriff Corey Lee with the same aspect. Small town famous, really good friends with my dad and my family.
So how many years has this been going, Mariah?
So we are just under 4 years old. We'll be 4 in February. And the things that we've been able to do in such a short amount of time is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, talk about how, I guess, that feeling is 4 years from the very first year you started. Now you're in your 4th year. I mean, that's got to be pretty amazing a feeling, isn't it?
It is. I have so much pride when I see somebody wearing one of our shirts. I sit and I giggle a little bit, and I'm so proud of the fact that they're wearing one of the shirts that I made, but then they're also supporting our cause at the same time. When we started, we didn't know what we were doing. There was no intention on growing. There was no intention on turning it into a not-for-profit. There was no intention on turning it into a 501c3 for tax purposes to increase our donation revenues. But slowly, every time we did something, the community support was there. And then we also realized that the need is actually there for something like this. When Leanne said that everything's free at our events, it truly is free. We don't allow vendors to come in because we don't want to create like inter-family turmoil where the kids come and they want all this stuff and the parents keep saying no because they really can't afford it, where it ruins the day for them. You're fighting with your kids the whole time. That doesn't make it fun to go to events. I have consciously chosen not to go to events for the same reasons. So our events are 100% free. We feed everybody, we get drinks. Sometimes we've got ice cream, we have activities, we have a DJ, we have bouncy houses, we have positive interaction with first responders. We create an opportunity for people to exit out of whatever situation that they're in for a day. We give them that day because you can't help everybody out of a situation. They have to be able to do it themselves, and then sometimes it still isn't even feasible. But by us giving them that day, we give them a moment to relax, to enjoy the time with their family, to enjoy the time with the community, and just to bring everybody together.
And you should see the size of this when it does happen. There's multiple city blocks that are cut off, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty,
big.
big.
One of the things, Mariah, is that I caught when I heard you talk is that you didn't think it would get to be this big. And that's kind of how some of the best charity organizations start out, right? They just think, well, we're just going to help a few people. And then you're turning out 4 or 5 or even 10 years later, it's just turned into something that, well, is really the community really needs now. Let's talk, Leanne, real quick. You got so many incredible people in the Western Edge, and you like to highlight them. Case here, like Mariah Marsh.
Yep.
You got Mariah on this weekend. It's incredible. Tell us about what this episode Sunday morning will kind of cover besides your toenail fungus.
this Sunday's, I think we pretty much covered it with the new business owner, her involvement in the community, the Kind Hearts Project. And aside from that, that's kind of, I mean, we covered a lot of material just on those two main subjects there. But after that, coming next week, we have the president of the Enchanted Highway Foundation and the artist Gary Greff, which will be the following week, talking to them about the new foundation and some plans they have for the future. Have you ever been down the Enchanted Highway, Jay?
I have. Yeah, I've taken a drive down. It's really actually very, very cool.
Yep. So that's what we have coming ahead for that. And then we're on a little bit of a break again. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you ladies get to it, but I do have one more question for Mariah. The laser treatment for the toes. Now, I'm being serious. I'm not. I was joking earlier. I have the worst big toe ever, right? And I've had to take the Lamisil. That doesn't work because it worked for like 6 months. Nail grew back perfectly fine. And then 6 months later, it's back to being black again. So how does the laser work? Because I'd be interested in driving to Dickinson just to use your service.
Well, I love that idea. The laser is it uses heat. So you target the nail bed. You do 2 to 3 treatments, and you do them like 1 week apart. And we get it to as hot as you can possibly handle it, right? But it's only for a moment, right? You feel that heat. You're like, oh my gosh, that's too much, and then it dissipates. Kind of like when you hold your hand over a candle. You hold it there, it gets warm. You pull your hand away, you recover from it. So that's what we do is we hit that area with heat. It kills the fungus. It also interrupts the blood supply that's providing growth and room for that fungus, because even though it's on the top of it, it still is living off of you. And then you do the treatment a couple of times. I always take pictures and I do measurements with it, and it doesn't come back, right? So like you do the topical, it doesn't penetrate your nail bed. You can take oral medication, but it upsets everything in your body and it still doesn't work. Or you can do a different type of topical that takes years and maybe might not even be successful, with the treatment on that. This is 2 to 3 times. You come see me, we do some measurements, and then we check it again in 6 months, because your big toenail grows really slow, and it takes about a year for it to completely regenerate itself from beginning to end. And that's the only way we can take true measurements, is to see where the growth, lack thereof growth of the fungus after 6 months, by doing the measurements to make sure that it's all fresh, clean toenail behind that line.
Okay. Obviously, it's got to be somewhat popular. Otherwise, you wouldn't offer the service. I'm sure you've got quite a few clients that take part in it. I don't want to be the only one in the world that has an ugly toenail, I guess. That's why I'm asking.
I promise you are not. A lot of people have issues with it. A lot of people come to me and say that they've tried absolutely everything, and this is the solution to it. And when Mayo Clinic is buying a machine like this for these types of treatments, it has, grounds and best practice behind it if they're using it.
Yeah, I feel like weird if I wear one sock on one foot when I go to the swimming pool, right? Just because it's so ugly. I don't actually do that, but I would in some cases, to be honest with you.
Or put nail polish on it to cover the one toenail.
I've done that. Yeah, absolutely. Mariah Marsh, Leanne Styszowski, you can catch it, of course, Sunday mornings, 8:30 Central Time, 7:30 Mountain. This Sunday morning, before football, it is Western Edge Living, and Mariah, you will be the guest this week. Thank you both for your time today. I sure appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jay. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, 14 minutes now past the hour. We'll take a quick break here at the news desk. We'll come right back with some of the day's top news stories next.